Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're doing the same thing they do every year. They play really well. They over exceed expectations, and then it comes back and catches up to them. They lost 4 straight games, potentially about to be their 5th straight loss against the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs. Haven't won a playoff game since 2016. Mike Tomlin, 10-7 with 2 different quarterbacks, was 10-7 last year. But you would hope that would be better with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has kind of plateaued. He's, shown us, he showed us that he is a little cooked, and we got a little too excited about, the moon balls and just the offense going, because the 2-minute drill against the Bengals, some of the worst quarterback play you'll see. He's had a lot of bad moments, more bad moments than good recently. So Mike Tomlin, should the Steelers move on from him? Should they change things up? Because it's the same old story every year. Mike Tomlin gets the most out of his players, rises the floor for his team. But when they play teams that are better than them, when they play teams with a superstar quarterback, they lose. And they lose badly in the playoffs especially. So Mike Tomlin has had 12 playoff bursts in 18 years. 4 playoff wins in 17 years. Mike Tomlin has the longest streak for a coach without a playoff win right now. So Mike Tomlin, I think he's a good head coach. I think he's a coach that needs a fresh start. And you look at the Chicago Bears as a destination that he could land. Let's say Mike Vrabel goes to the Las Vegas Raiders because Tom Brady's over there. They could want him to come over there to set the culture in Vegas. And I think that'd be a good hire for the Vegas Raiders. Patriots, they're interested in Ben Johnson. And if Vrabel goes to the Raiders, Ben Johnson could be really interested in working with Drake May. Some of the receivers they have, the most cap space in the NFL, some good draft picks. T. Higgins could potentially come to New England. I think Ben Johnson will really be interested in, the Patriots if Vrabel doesn't get hired on Thursday over there. You could look at Vegas with Vrabel, Ben Johnson with the Patriots. Those are 2 of the top candidates for the Chicago Bears. After that, you're looking at, Liam Cohen, Pete Carroll, some other coaches, Joe Brady, like Cliff Kingsbury. The choices left, it's slim pickings. So Mike Tomlin, opportunity for him to get a fresh start. The Bears should be all over that. Especially, let's say Pittsburgh moves on from him. You don't have to trade for him. But if, he's available for trade, I think that's the best of both worlds for both organizations. The Steelers, they could use a fresh start, use a change of pace, maybe get an offensive coach in the building. Liam Cohen, I think, could do wonders in Pittsburgh. They could get a new direction, get a quarterback in there, or maybe, let's roll it out with Justin Fields. Let's see what he can do with a good offensive, competent coach running things and running the show. They have some talent on the offensive side of the ball. George Pickens, Jalen Warren, Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth. They have some good pieces over there that an offensive coach could change the trajectory of where that team is. You could also draft a quarterback too, a Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Milroe, some quarterback that you could put some faith in, some confidence, and instill some good development in them and get the most out of them. And Mike Tomlin could come to Chicago, fresh start with a franchise quarterback, the best quarterback he's had since prime Ben Roethlisberger, earlier on in prime Ben Roethlisberger's career, where he was playing at a high level, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Mike Tomlin really hasn't had that for a while. Maybe since the last time he won a playoff game. That's the last time he had really good quarterback play. So Caleb Williams, he's shown he has all the traits, all the tools to be that guy. Give him Mike Tomlin, a culture setter. He's going to elevate this whole team. The Bears have talent on this roster. They have weapons. They have receivers. They have a good tight end, Cole Kmet. The defense already has good pieces in play. Montez Sweat, Dexter, secondary, Kevin Byard, Kyler Gordon, Brisker, Jalen Johnson, Stevens. Like, they have good players in place. They just need a leader of men. And Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, I'm sure Mike Tomlin would be the guy for that. If you think of a leader of men, a culture setter, Mike Tomlin, a picture of him is there. And you look at Sean Payton going to Denver, a new situation. Things were rocky with Russell Wilson in his first year, but once he got a quarterback, he had confidence, and his guy that he wanted, they're in the playoffs. And that offense is clicking. The offense is really good around him. I think, Mike Tomlin could have similar success with Caleb Williams and be the best quarterback he's coached. And that defense, the Bears, it would be a top 5 defense with Mike Tomlin. You know, Eberflus was a decent defensive coordinator, and he had the Bears playing really well. But Mike Tomlin, this would be like Lovie Smith being back in Chicago, the Lovie Smith years. Every year the Steelers have, made the playoffs, been competitive. I would take that in a heartbeat. I would take having a culture setter. I would take a guy like Mike Tomlin over the rest of the guys that are kind of an unknown. With Johnson and Vrabel out of the picture. So I think, this is a guy that could get the team to buy into him, and he could have a lot of success in Chicago. I think he could compete with Dan Campbell, Matt LaFleur, some of these other great, Kevin O'Connell, the great coaches in the NFC North. I just really would need him to nail the offensive coordinator hire. I think he would have to bring in a really good candidate. I mean, Thomas Brown, bring him back as OC. Had a lot of success with Caleb Williams in the 3 games. As OC, the offense was clicking. The offense looked, better. Mike Tomlin just running things, having the defense play better. Defenses for the Pittsburgh Steelers have been top 5 every year. Every year, the Steelers have one of the best defenses in the NFL, so I'm not worried about the defensive side of the ball. So, maybe Thomas Brown as OC. Mike Tomlin could cultivate a pretty good staff. It's just the offensive coordinator. He struggled to get a good offensive coordinator. Maybe they go that direction. I would trust Mike Tomlin, the years of success he's had, winning the Super Bowl. Definitely, though, I think he could benefit from having a fresh start and being somewhere else, and in a situation that could be better than Pittsburgh with the Chicago Bears, and having Caleb Williams, a generational quarterback, having Ryan Poles, having multiple picks, having cap space that's pretty good, in a better spot to add more talent to this team. I think, Chicago should be all over this, and Pittsburgh should think about it and consider it as well. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years, because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.